Today we're going to be fixing a problem that popped up for me with Mapbox the other day when I uploaded a GeoJSON file to my Mapbox Tilesets, and the zoom extent wasn't quite long enough and didn't have enough of a range to see everything when fully zoomed out on the map. So if we just go to this tileset here, you can see that the zoom extent is between 2 and 7, and when we zoom out quite far, you won't actually be able to see our GeoJSON or our data set or anything on that. And if we go back to our tilesets here and go to my top most recent one, I zoom right out, you can see everything much clearer. And I've had this in the past with clients where they've wanted to be able to see things further out, and in some cases the zoom extent by default when uploading a tileset to Mapbox doesn't always work out the way you intend it. And once it's made, you can't really override these things or change it. You know, even if you're loading the tileset and using code, you still can't edit it. So the best way to get around that is to create your own tileset even before it reaches Mapbox itself. So I've just got a virtual environment here in VS Code, and one thing you're going to want to check that you have installed is Tipper Canoe. I still don't know how to say it correctly. I should probably put my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing. And feel free to go check out the documentation. It is pretty straightforward, and I've got 3 options that I usually run through here. One is that in some cases you might just want to create your own MB tile file, and it's pretty simple, straightforward. Make sure to, you know, pip, I think tip. I've already got it installed, so it doesn't really matter. But the main options that I usually see with this is 2, that the size of your data set might be too big, you need to simplify it a bit. In many cases, you know, that happens when you've just got a large data set in general. And so you want to be adding this area here with simplification. And the higher the number, the more simplified your data is. It may be a bit confusing when running this, because if you increase your simplification, let's say from 5 to 20, because you're returning an error when you're trying to create it, it's too large, it's too complex, you would assume that if you're simplifying the data, it's going to take a shorter amount of time, because in theory it's resulting in a smaller data set. That's not the case, because it actually has to process and simplify the data. So in order for that to happen, this actually can take a lot longer. And you know, it's counterintuitive, because you'd think if it's taking a lot longer, it's going to be a larger file, but isn't always the case. In my case here, we had a maximum zoom range of 2, and we wanted to get that to at least 0, or just as far out as we possibly can. So this is the one that I use 90% of the time. And you just want to have your output file or your output name here next to your O, and you just want the path to your file at the end. Simplification 10, I just usually throw that in so it doesn't take too long and the file's, you know, not too large in size. So if we just run this one, you can see down here it's slowly processing. You're going to get 2 files. One is a journal and the other is just the actual MB tile file itself. Whilst we're waiting for this to process, if we just come back to here, you can see in some cases at a further zoom level, sometimes the detail is a little bit limited. Like when you zoom in, you can see it changes a lot. Sort of down here, you can see, you know, Mauritania in Africa, these lines become a bit more detailed once you zoom in. That's just part of the processing, and when you simplify things at the further zoom level, it's not going to be as accurate, but that's just one of the stipulations of having a large data set. So if we go back now, it's almost done. I'll just clip this and come back to you when it's actually finished. All right, now that's finished, all we're going to do is upload a new tile, or sorry, upload our new tile set to Mapbox. We'll just confirm that, and I'll come back to you when this is done. Right, so now that's done, it's uploaded. We can go and view it in here. If we zoom right out, see we've got our data set. We're missing Brazil here. I think I accidentally removed it when I was uploading it, so sorry about that, Brazil. But in the next video, I'll go through and we'll do some basic data editing. We'll see what we can do, make this look a bit cooler inside of an actual map style, and we can learn about how to actually work with data inside of Mapbox Studio. Thanks for watching.